identify what a need in your world is, build a solution around the need, and package it. Taking action beats being perfect. What are you offering and how are you getting paid? Passion does not follow profit. And I know some friends of mine that have written books that speaks to that might fight me and say, but from passion to profit. No. Welcome back to the Witness Mdaka show. My name is Witness Mdaka, and like I said when we started this segment of our show, I'm committed to helping young men find meaning, find purpose, and make a difference in society. And one of the best ways you can make a difference in society, my friend, is to become an entrepreneur in thinking, an entrepreneur in doing, and an entrepreneur in execution. And some of you might be watching and saying, but I'm an employee. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can transition from being an employee to being an entrepreneur and basically teach you how to create your own economy. And having a job is great. There's nothing wrong with having a job. That's where we most start. And some people, no matter how much we teach them on entrepreneurship, might not transition to entrepreneurship. But one thing you need to understand is that every single family on earth, let's talk South Africa, every single family in South Africa needs to be prioritizing selling something. They need to be prioritizing entrepreneurship, although or even though the parents or the people that are in the family that are of working age might be employed in jobs. So, how do you move from being an entrepreneur, from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur and basically being able to create your own economy as a man? A job obviously is going to give you income, but entrepreneurship is going to give you the ownership that you're looking for, the leverage that you're looking for. I know a lot of people say it will give you freedom. The freedom might not necessarily come immediately because you basically move from working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, whatever the hours you work at work, to working 24/7. When I was employed, I was solely responsible for the tasks that I needed to deliver in my workplace. But now, with the multiple projects that we run in our company, I'm basically responsible for everything, even if I'm not directly responsible, I'm indirectly responsible. And which means I basically transitioned from somebody who was working 8 to 5 to somebody who's now working 24/7, right? And like I said, even though a job would give an income, entrepreneurship then gives you the ownership and the leverage that you are looking for. But one thing you need to understand is that you can still build something while you still work. You don't just have to quit your job and start. I've seen a lot of people quit their jobs and say they're starting a business only to see themselves crawling back to their jobs or finding another job. And it shouldn't be the case for you because being employed does not necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. You need to first identify what a need in your world is, build a solution around the need, and packages. A lot of people start businesses for the sake of starting businesses. They don't look at exactly what the need in the market is. There has to be a clear description and understanding of what exactly the market needs or what exactly your community and the world needs. And once you found that thing, you build a solution for it and package it in order for you to solve that specific need. You know, and other people wait until retirement before they start because they want to use their large retirement money for them to start big. And let me break it down to you. You don't have to do that. You need to start lean, start small, and grow from there. It's not about building something humongous or big. It's about the meaning and the purpose and the freedom that comes from building a business. And a lot of people only think that the meaning and the purpose that comes from building a business only comes if your business is big. Wrong. It comes because you're doing something that you love, you're doing something that's meaningful, and you're not waiting for any perfection. You know, taking action beats being perfect. Taking a small step beats starting when you have everything figured out, because you're never going to be able to have everything that's figured out. And starting a business is a little like this. Those of you who are currently in your jobs, what are the new projects within your company are you risking and starting? That's where the training starts. Starting that project with somebody else's resources and testing your own entrepreneurial skills within your job, pitching clients, taking out proposals. That teaches you to be able to do the same thing for your own business. But a lot of people don't want to do that for other people. They are waiting for them to run their own businesses to start doing that, which means they're waiting for some level of perfection that's attached only to them and their dream. And they don't realize that part of growth, part of growing, part of scaling means starting exactly where you are, learning how to do things, developing a track record with yourself, knowing that you can do certain things, and scaling within somebody else's organization and using that to build your own confidence, your own way of doing things, and learning how to scale. Right? So there are three M's when it comes to entrepreneurship. It's the market, the message, and monetization. Right? The market is, who are you serving? Who exactly are you serving? And what are you offering? And the next question would be, how are you getting paid? Who are you serving? What are you offering? And how are you getting paid? You have to have somebody that you are looking at to serve. It's called market segmentation, right? Is it black people? Is it white people? Is it in the township? Is it a luxury goods industry where wealthy people are the market? Or is it a market where poor people are the market? Are you serving content creators? Are you serving business owners? Who are you serving? You need to serve. You can't be in business without serving. There has to be somebody that's waiting for service from you. And once you've discovered who that person that you're going to serve is, craft a message, show us or show them what exactly your offering is. And then once you found that offering, monetize. How are you going to make money from it? So a lot of people build the product, but the product has to be followed by a specific brand. Our product now, our messaging is communication. But what's our product? Our product is the book that I wrote. It's more than just money. The same book has been taken. It's more than just money. Business and property seminars. Could be in Botswana. It could be Namibia. It could be South Africa. The messaging is, it's more than just money. That's the brand. And that same brand is also a podcast and a YouTube channel that is the fastest growing business podcast in South Africa and most probably in Africa. Why? Because it's got a brand name. It's not just a podcast or a product that you built. We built it and built a brand around it. People buy from people and brands that they trust. So you have to understand the branding part of your business becomes important, and a lot of people want to chase passion. You shouldn't be chasing passion. You need to be solving the problem. Passion does not follow profit. And I know some friends of mine that have written books that speaks to that might fight me and say, but from passion to profit. No, profit follows problem solving. It's not about how passionate you are about what you're doing. It's about what the problem is and how you are solving that problem. What is the problem? What is your offering? And what is your packaging? How are you packaging the problem to provide so that they can pay you for it? I said there's a market, there's a message, there's monetization, triple M. And understanding that in and of itself has got nothing to do with passion. It's got something to do with what the market wants, what you have to offer the market, and how much the market is willing to pay you for the problem that you are solving. And you have to think long term. You have to build equity, not just cash flow. In the property industry, right? When they speak of building equity, they're speaking of the fact that your property needs to have a certain value that's beyond what you paid for it, right? So especially if you financed the property, you paid 1 million for the property or a certain amount of money, and there has to be capital growth or equity growth. Or before you even purchase it, you need to identify how much equity you've got in the property, and then look at also how much cash flow you're going to be getting on a monthly basis. So if your business is paying you a certain amount of money every month, what is the business's brand equity? What is the value of the business? So whatever you're building on a daily basis, you have to be looking at what's the value of this thing. If we are podcasting, what is the current value of what we are doing, and what is going to be the value of this thing in the next 5 to 10 years? So you're building with an understanding of the kind of equity that you are building, and then also being able to ask, what is the cash flow that we can get on a monthly or yearly basis from this specific thing? You know, you are not born to rent out your life by the hour. You are born to make a difference and to bring meaning into society. And if it means bringing meaning into an existing company, do that. But do it with purpose, do it with intention, do it with understanding of what you are becoming out of that. You know, Jim Rohn says the biggest question to ask in a job is not what am I getting paid? Yeah. The biggest question he says to ask in a job is what am I becoming here? So meaning on a daily basis, the environment that you spend time with within the workplace, it is shaping you into becoming somebody. And the question is, who is it shaping you to become? You have to create your own economy. One product, one client, one step at a time. The question is going to be, what is the market that you're serving? What's the product that you can create for that market? What is the messaging that you have around that? What brand are you building? And what is your brand message? And then lastly, how are you going to get paid for it? If you haven't subscribed, please click on that subscribe button, click on the notifications bell, comment, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're watching from. It's more than just money. I will see you in the next episode of the Witness Mdaka show. Signing out. Peace.